In this presentation, we will record personal and business cash outflows from the bank statement into QuickBooks, outflows related to the purchase of office supplies, entertainment, and charity. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info. Here we are in the home page. We currently have the open windows open. You can open the open windows by going to the view dropdown and selecting the open windows list. We're now going to go to the bank register by going to the banking dropdown and go into the use register item. Within there, we're going to go to the checking account. And then in the checking account, we're going to enter the transactions. We're going to go now to our bank statement. Here is our bank statement. And notice this is where we have the business and personal mixed up in the bank statement. And we're going to break these out by assigning classes. So we're going to go through here and decide which of these are business, which are personal. Note that no matter how we set these things up, there's going to be overlap. There's going to be questions. Should this be business or should this be personal? We need to break them up as best we can as we go through this. And we're going to do that with the use of classes. So the first item is going to be the Outback Steakhouse. So that's just going to be a restaurant. We're going to call it like a sit-down type of restaurant. And we're going to say that that's personal typically. Now, again, we could have brought business clients to it, but we're going to assume here that that's going to be a personal item, a personal expense. So we're going to enter that into our system as of 20. And that's going to be I'm going to call it an E for electronic transfer. We're going to add it Outback Steakhouse because we don't have that restaurant in here yet as the vendor. Set it up, add new. We don't need the full setup. We're just going to quickly set it up. It's going to be a vendor. We're going to keep it as a vendor. We could put it as other since this is personal and use only vendor for business related items. But I like to put them all as vendors because then you can see them in the customer detail if we want to write a report or run a report by this particular who we paid. So we're going to, which would be vendor report. So we'll keep it there. It's going to be 150. And then we need an account. This is where we're going to have to decide how many accounts we want to break out for the personal side. And remember, this is more difficult because the personal side is different than the business side. The personal side, we don't have this standardization because we have different goals, different objectives. We might want to track, for example, what we pay to Outback Steakhouse specifically. Maybe we go there a lot and we want to know what we pay them. But if we did that for every place we go to, we would have too much detail in our reports. And therefore we might want to just put it into meals and entertainment, kind of like we would on a business type of account. But that might be too little information because a lot of our stuff is entertainment on the personal side. We want to know which entertainment that we're putting our money to. So we're going to need to find some kind of variation between those two. And that's kind of the fun and the challenge of entering this data into the personal side. I'm just going to create an account. And because it's personal, I'm going to create an account and not just use an account that is there. The accounts we're using by QuickBooks are going to be the business accounts. So I'm going to say restaurant. And I'm just going to call it like a sit-down type restaurants and maybe differentiate a nicer restaurant possibly from restaurants where I would consider less nice, like a fast food versus a sit-down. Just one way we can do this. And again, there's no right way because it's personal and we're not geared towards income generation or to try to make our financial statements fit into a tax return setting. We're trying to break out our expenses so that we can budget better or live better or think about how we're spending money in some way or another better. So we'll set that up. We're going to say restaurants. Hopefully I spelled that okay. If not, I apologize, but it'll be an expense here. And we'll say save and close. And then we want to assign a class to it. So I'm going to go to the splits item and we're going to go to class and assign the class of personal and record, save it. Now, if we forgot to assign the class or did something like that, that's okay because we broke out the separate account. We'll be able to assign those when we go to the profit and loss. We'll take a look at that in the future as we look at the reports. So we'll go to the next item now. It's going to be the pizza kitchen. So I'm going to highlight that and say we found that. Pizza kitchen. So we're going to go back in here and that happened on the 3rd. So I'm going to say plus to the 3 and this is going to be an E and we're going to call this pizza kitchen and tab. We will quickly set it up. We're going to set it up as a vendor, and it's going to be for 98. And once again, I'm going to say that's personal. So we'll put that in the same kind of restaurant, the sit-down restaurants that we have just set up. So I'll type in restaurants sit down. And that'll be that. We'll say enter and save that information. Next one we've got then will be, I'm going to highlight that because we've done that one. And we want the post office. Post office, I'm going to assume, is a business expense. So I'm going to keep that in the business related items. So we'll go back over here, and this one will be an easier one typically because the account will already be set up. By the way, second month, of course, the accounts will be all set up for us more, and we'll be able to just memorize the transactions. It'll be easier, in other words, to enter this data for the second month. So we're going to say post office and tab. It's going to be a new item. The vendors will be set up in the next month as well, making it easier too. So this will be 320. And now because this is a business account, I'm going to use the drop down and just find something that's business related. Post office. That looks good. We'll save it there. I don't need to assign a class because this is going to go to our default, which is unclassified. So, okay. Then we'll go to the next item. We found the post office. Now we're going to go to the corner pub. And I'm going to assume that's personal. And again, we probably do a lot of business possibly at the corner pub or whatever, but we're going to assume that it's personal in this case. So we'll go back over here and we're going to say this happened on the 3rd, and it's going to be E, and we're just going to say that this is the name of the place again, which is the corner pub. Tab, vendor, it's going to be for 65. Now here, we may want to put this into entertainment, meals and entertainment again, or we might want to break it out. We might want to say, hey, well, I've got restaurants. I don't want to put this in really a restaurant maybe. Maybe I want to put this in some kind of different type of category so I can group it because I think of it as a different form of entertainment to me. So I'm going to put it into a group possibly called entertainment, pub, bars, clubs, something like that. Maybe break that, maybe nightlife, or maybe break out, that type of thing differently than a normal type of restaurant type of situation. If that, so and again, there's no right or wrong answer because these are personal accounts. So that's what we're going to call this. I'm going to set this up, split, and it's going to set it up. I'm going to have to set up the expense account, set it up. It's going to be an expense. That's correct. And save and close. Now we'll go to the splits again, and we'll go to the class and call it personal. So this will be personal and enter. So there is that item. Then we'll go to the next one, which is the American Red Cross. So that's going to be a charitable type of item, charitable item. We're going to put this in the account as personal, and it's typically something we often need to track for like taxes, but not on the business side oftentimes for a sole proprietor, but on the Schedule A or personal side. So we'll track this under an account called charity or something like that. So we'll go back over here and we're going to say that this is in QuickBooks. This will be on the 6th. This is E for an electronic transfer. We're not writing checks here. We're going to assume that all these are electronic. If we had the checks, then we would enter the check number here. That's why we're putting an E there rather than a check number. And then we're going to say that this is going to be the American Red Cross. And by the way, if you are doing checks, you don't have to write the checks from the system, of course. You could just have a checkbook, you write a check, and then you enter the check number into the system. Or if it was on the bank statement, we would take the check number directly from the bank statement. And then tab, if we're entering from the bank statement, as we're doing here. And we're going to add the new one. We're going to quick add. It's going to be a vendor. And we'll say that we paid $250 to the American Red Cross. We're just going to call this charitable contributions. And note, I'm not going to really track by who I gave it to, the American Red Cross. In this case, we could, but I'd like to group them all together so I can get a report for our tax preparer in one space. And if I want to see it by vendor, I can run a vendor report in order to do so. So that's why I'm keeping it in this kind of more generic category. We'll say expense, and then we're going to go to split and go to the class, and we're going to make it a personal. Remember, if you mess up on this personal class, that's okay because we can go and fix it once we look at the reports. We'll pretty easily be able to see if something is not classified correctly. Go in, change class, fix it fast. Next item that we will have, if we go back to our checking account, we're going to say is the Save the Children. That's going to be another charity. So another charity, Save the Children. And we're going to go back over here and enter that in. That was on the 6th. That's going to be an E. So Save the Children. And enter that. Actually, cancel. I'm attempting to spell things correctly here, so bear with me. And we're going to say vendor, and we're going to say that that's $65. And now this is just going to go into charitable contributions. So I'm just typing that in there. We now have it. And next time we enter charitable contributions for Save the Children, it will populate the account for us. And we'll save that. Next item, if we go back, we're going to say we found this one. It's going to be Amazon. So Amazon, not very specific here. So Amazon, we buy a lot of stuff from Amazon. So we're going to say that that's going to be E, Amazon. Now I'm going to select the enter or just space bar so that I have a new vendor. So it's really Amazon space because I don't want it to memorize that other Amazon. And if there's any differentiating factors on what we buy specifically from Amazon, like if I buy supplies, oftentimes I might want to be able to, if that's indicated on the bank statement, that would be nice because then I can put that into a specific account. Or I might have to go to Amazon. I could go to Amazon and check everything that I bought and more specifically enter them where I want them to be. So that would be a more specific, better way to do it. But if we're trying to do this pretty quickly, then Amazon Now is just basically, we could just make an account called Amazon or put it into a miscellaneous account or just like a personal account. And if we're doing that, we're not being as specific as we could because we would want to check out what we actually bought and then be able to specifically assign it. But that's what we're going to do here. And the rationale is always a trade-off between time, how much time you want to spend versus the added information and the benefit it provides you. So here, I'm just going to say that Amazon, I could just say this is personal purchases. I'm just going to say this is an account called Amazon. And again, this is different than you would want to do. I'm going to space bar to have a new account. This is different than you'd want to do for a business because it would look funny on a tax return or something to say Amazon expense or anything like that. But from our perspective, then it's something we could say this is what we spent to Amazon. If I want to know more detail in it, I can go to my Amazon account and look at what was spent on. On the other hand, if I find a large purchase, if it's a lot of money to us, then we might want to go in there specifically and say this is what we purchased. So it really just depends, again, how much detail we want to put in place, and the dollar amount of the purchase will often change our, if we purchase something significant, we would probably know about it and want to record it separately as something related like a TV. We might want to record the TV related to it. So we're going to say enter and add the Amazon account. We're going to split and make it a personal account and record. All right, and then the next item we have is going to be for the Epiphone. That's going to be our vendor for our company. We buy and sell from Epiphone. So we're going to keep that on the company side. So we're going to go back over here and say vendor E. It's going to be Epiphone tab. This is going to be a new vendor. We spent 5100. Now we're going to purchase and sell from Epiphone on the company side. So these are guitars we purchase and sell. So we're not gonna get into tracking inventory and record it directly to a cost of goods sold, purchase resale items. So we're just gonna put it to a cost of goods sold, an expense type item. We're not gonna get into inventory now. We're gonna be on a cash basis. Just note that this is stuff that was business related and therefore something we're gonna break out on the business side. And so I'm not gonna assign a category. We'll go back later and see about assigning categories to the business items. But for now, business items are the default. And then we've got the Sunlight rentals. Also business, that's for our office, our business office. So we're gonna put that on the business side. So that's gonna be on the 8th as well. We're gonna say E, Sunlight rentals. We're gonna set that up, vendor. It's going to be 1500. And once again, we should be able to find the account here from QuickBooks list of accounts because this is a business related item. And so we want something like rent So rent expense, that's what we want. We're not going to assign a class because it's going to go into the default business class of unclassified. And then let's do one more here and we'll stop. So we're going to go to the Audible. So that's going to be like ebooks, if we purchase ebooks. So it's owned by Amazon, so it's similar in that case, but it's going to be an ebooks item, audiobooks, not ebooks, audiobooks. So that's going to be on the 10th, and that will say E. So we're going to say that this is personal, and we're not going to put it to Amazon. We could, because they're owned by the same area, but I'd like to break out Audible. And now it might be small enough that I might just want to put it in with Amazon or just personal expenses. Maybe I don't need a lot of detail. Maybe I'm just recording this to track for taxes, and anything that's not taxes I can put into personal. Maybe that might be all I want to do. It'll be faster to do that. But I want to see a bit more detail because I want to use it for budgeting as well as taxes. And so I'm going to say 15. And again, I'm going to set up another account called Audible. So it's going to be an Audible expense type account. Again, from a business standpoint, that might sound funny though. What do you mean Audible expense type account? But from a personal standpoint, I want to know how much we spent on the entertainment item of Audible. So therefore, from that standpoint, making the expense account would make sense. It's really, and from a business standpoint, it's something like meals and entertainment. It's entertainment. But from our standpoint, of course it's entertainment. It's personal. Pretty much everything we do is some type of entertainment or something on the personal side, and I want to know which personal item it's going to. In this case, I want to know the audiobooks. Now, if I buy audiobooks from different people, maybe I want to put audiobooks in general and then have Audible be one of them and have other audiobooks be others. But so there's just a couple different kind of ways we can do that. We'll set this up and say OK, and then we want to go to split. And we want to assign the class to personal and record. So now let's just take a look at our reports real quickly, and then we'll keep going forward. We're going to go to the banking. Now note, if we miskeyed anything or if we didn't assign a class or did assign a wrong class, those are things we can go back in, and the bank statement will help us. The bank reconciliation will help us, as well as just looking at the classes and the fact that we assigned specific classes for personal and business will help us to reassign the classes as we look at the reports. So let's go to the banking or the reports drop down, company and financial. We want to take a look at the profit and loss by class. Checking out the 0101 20 to 12/31/20. That's January through to December 2020. And we can see that now on the expense side, we have our expenses broken out. Amazon, Audible, in personal, charity, entertainment, the postage, business, rental, business, and then the restaurant is going to be the personal. So we now have a profit and loss giving us this information, allowing us to now budget between the business and personal. If we go to the reports and look at the balance sheet as of 12/31/20, note that the balance sheet is only recording activity right now because we've only been recording the activity from this point forward. You may be going back and saying, well, what about all the other stuff that might be on the balance? Maybe my home, maybe my credit card, or maybe my loans, student loans, mortgage, or on the business side, a business loan, those types of items. That's not what we've been tracking right now. We've been tracking the activity, the performance. We'd have to go back in, and we'll discuss how to do that a bit later, to go back in and look at the balance sheet side. However, realize that when we look at the performance, budgeting, and typically the most part tax preparation, we're mainly looking at the income statement to see performance, to see what's happening. And the classes track that fairly well. On the balance sheet side, it becomes a bit more difficult to break out personal versus business when looking at this method of just using classes to do so. So the classes, in other words, can break out that information fairly well on the activity statements. The statements we typically use to judge performance are not so good at breaking them out on the balance sheet side, the permanent side, the amounts that say where we stand. And we'll take a look a little bit more at that once we complete the data input. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info.